Welcome to History with Herodotus, where we delve into the most fascinating stories of the past. I'm your host, Herodotus, and I'm thrilled to continue our series, the Lincoln-Douglas Debates. Today's episode, Episode 9, Road to the Presidency, brings us to a pivotal moment in American history as Abraham Lincoln sets his sights on the highest office in the land. As the year 1859 drew to a close, Lincoln's star continued to rise. His passionate pleas for freedom and equality had resonated deeply with many Americans who were increasingly concerned about the spread of slavery into new territories. With his reputation as a champion of freedom and equality growing, Lincoln began to explore the possibility of running for president. He knew it wouldn't be an easy task, but he was determined to take his message to the national stage. One of the key factors that contributed to Lincoln's decision to run for president was his growing rift with Stephen Douglas. The two men had been bitter rivals since their debates in 1858, and their differences on the issue of slavery had only deepened over time. Douglas, who had once been a strong contender for the Democratic nomination, was now facing opposition from within his own party. Southern Democrats were increasingly unhappy with his stance on slavery, and they began to coalesce around other candidates. Meanwhile, Lincoln was building a strong network of supporters across the North. He traveled extensively, giving speeches and lectures on the dangers of slavery and the importance of preserving the Union. His message resonated with audiences in states like Ohio, Indiana, and Pennsylvania, where voters were eager for a candidate who would stand up to the spread of slavery. As Lincoln's reputation grew, so did his chances of securing the Republican nomination. In February 1860, Lincoln traveled to New York City to deliver a speech at Cooper Union. The event was a major success, with over 1,500 people in attendance. Lincoln's speech was a masterclass in rhetoric, as he laid out his vision for a united America where slavery would be restricted and eventually abolished. The speech was widely reported in the press, and it helped to cement Lincoln's reputation as a leading contender for the Republican nomination. As the Republican convention approached, Lincoln's supporters worked tirelessly to secure his nomination. They faced opposition from other candidates, including William Seward and Salmon Chase, but Lincoln's strong network of supporters ultimately prevailed. On May 18, 1860, Lincoln was nominated for president by the Republican Party, with Hannibal Hamlin as his running mate. The Democratic Convention, which took place in Charleston, South Carolina, was a very different story. The party was deeply divided over the issue of slavery, and the convention ultimately failed to produce a nominee. Douglas, who had once been the front-runner for the nomination, saw his chances slip away as Southern Democrats refused to support him. As the campaign season got underway, Lincoln faced off against three other major candidates: Stephen Douglas, John Breckinridge, and John Bell. The election would be a complex and contentious one, with voters in different parts of the country facing very different choices. But for Lincoln, the stakes were clear. He was running to preserve the Union and end the spread of slavery, and he was determined to succeed. That's all for today. Join us next time on History with Herodotus as we continue our series on the Lincoln-Douglas debates with Episode 10, Legacy and Impact.